Hello and welcome to our fifth Advent window. I want to offer a short reflection on Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. Do you have any idea how many babies are born around the world on an average day? I wonder where you would start with that. Shall we start with 50,000? That seems a reasonable figure to me. But then again, maybe we should double it to 100,000 just to be sure. Well, actually 100,000 is nowhere near enough. According to the website called The World Counts, the number of babies born each day across the world is approximately 285,000 per day. That's nearly 2 million a week. Now that really is a lot of babies. So what's the big deal here in Isaiah with his proclamation, to us a child is born, to us a son is given? Well, maybe it was more of a thing then. I mean, the world was a lot less of a populated place then, particularly back in the 8th century BC compared to now. But then the next phrase is even more specific. For to us a son is given. Well, that's interesting because it rules out the fact that it's not a daughter. Should we be more interested then, now that we know it's a son? Well, yes, I think we should. You see, in the Hebrew Bible, that's what we call the Old Testament, there are a number of prophecies or predictions about the coming of someone called the Messiah or Saviour. And that person is always referred to using the male pronoun him. And here's another exciting fact from this verse. Apparently it's to us a child is born, to us a son is given. And that confirms what was written a couple of chapters earlier in Isaiah, in chapter 7. Look, the virgin, that's Mary, will conceive a child. She will give birth to a son and call him Emmanuel. And that means God with us. And so it turns out that this son that is given for our benefit. The boy child that will be given is none other than God himself. Now, that really is what I call mind-blowing. The verse continues, and the government will be upon his shoulder. Aha! So God really is a conservative and reads the Daily Telegraph. Nice thought, but wrong kind of government. This is simply and clearly telling us that this child, this son, which is given for us, is a ruler, a king, and he holds that government, or that responsibility, if you will, on his shoulders. Today we talk about shouldering responsibility, don't we? Well, long before we took that phrase into common usage, there was a King Jesus, taking on himself the kingly rule. Let me give you a phrase that you can really chew on today. Jesus is the Saviour King. Listen to some familiar words from that well-known carol, We Three Kings of Orient Are. Born a king on Bethlehem plain, gold I bring to crown him again. King forever, ceasing never, over us all to reign. This child that was born for us, it turns out, is a king. King Jesus. The carol says, "Gold I bring to crown him again." Will you, during this season of Advent, this season of preparation, will you crown him again in your life? And if you haven't already done so, ask him to be your personal saviour. Thank you.